4. Hannah. Chapter 61. Girlfriend. Yes, I know I am a cougar, but I love Marcus before my heart. I'll never forget the day when he entered the Dress Dragon costume shop in Chinatown in the south side of downtown Chicago, and all he said was that he needed a new cane and a new red cloak. I thought he looked very handsome through the cloak, considering that he is always dressed sharply with those black dress khakis, button-up shirt tie, button-up jacket, gloves, sunglasses, and hat he wears under his cloak. I know that this is all for his persona he calls Dr. Marcacius, but I can look past that in him because we bonded immediately and he gave me permission to call him Marcus instead of Dr. Marcacius. He is so nice to me, to my parents. I have never had a boyfriend before, and one of the reasons why I am sticking with him is because he is so respectful to the fact that my parents are gay men. I know that is because he is super religious, and his religion doesn't consider homosexuality a sin, and the religion that he is super religious in will be my religion soon, and I will be super religious too. I'm going to be baptized to become an awareness in the color yellow, soon, because yellow is my favorite color, and as it is red for Marcus, orange for his brother Sam, green for his brother George, blue for his dad, and purple for his mom. I love Marcus's family so much. They're so nice, and I love the fact they're royalty and run their own nation, which I must refer to as a nation and not just a condo in the Chicago Loop, because Queen Valerie said that she will not convert me to Robbinsog after she will want nothing to do with me, because she says she wants nothing to do with people who sees the nation of Robbinsog is not a real place. The reason why I decided to convert to Robbinsog is because I've always been very spiritual. I definitely believe in God, and I've always been celebrating Santa Claus and not Jesus Christmas, and celebrating Easter Bunny and not Jesus Easter. I haven't been too religious at all. My parents are the same way. Very spiritual, but not religious. My parents have been very spiritual because they were brought up religious. They and I both definitely believe in God and an afterlife. The reason why my parents are not religious is because they weren't exactly welcome at religious institutions for being gay. However, my dad Peter's brother lives in Spain and still practices Catholicism and is married to a Catholic from Spain. My dad David's brother, who's a professor in Ypsilanti, Michigan at Eastern Michigan University, actually teaches a comparative religions class and is a practicing Methodist around there. My uncles and their families are very accepting of my parents for being gay, but I know that they want them to be religious, but in absolute honesty, the church scared them away from religion, but they still believe in God, and so do I. When I told them I wanted to convert to become an awareist, they said they were fine with it, and I told them that I'm doing this mentally for my social anxiety, as Marcus and the rest of his family do it for their autism. I asked them if they wanted to do it for being gay, and they said no, because they said if you did for being gay, it would be like being gay as a mental disorder, when I let my parents know with all or heart that it is not. To be honest, if I end up breaking up with Marcus, I am still definitely going to be an awareness, because I am not converting for him. I'm converting because I want to, but he was just the one who introduced me to it. And Marcus's parents also said if I were to marry him, I must convert. However, even if I break up with him, I'm going to segregate myself from all but the color yellow and still hate society. I told my parents that I was going to hate society, and they said fine, because they do too for how it treats gay people. They just aren't mildly vocal about it the way awareists are. Moving along, I am super happy I finally get to worship God, because I've always believed in God, but I just haven't gone to a church ever because my parents didn't raise me that way. So I went along with it. Plus, since my parents are gay men, I'm worried that if the church found out about me, they wouldn't be liked so much from the church because of that. Anyhow, switching topics from the new stuff to the old stuff, it is time for me to talk about going to New York City for 3 nights with Marcus over spring break. As previously mentioned, many times, I was adopted from an orphanage in the Bronx in New York City, and the orphanage was not a good place for me. The orphanage was run by a single lady, and I think that I was all she did for a living. That was all she did for a living, because we only got peanut butter sandwiches for food and water for drinks. In all honesty, the state of New York should have shut it down because it was in such bad conditions, but the truth of the matter is, when it comes to how I got there, it is a lot better than how I got there. I don't want to give away the name of the lady who ran the orphanage quite yet because she could still be running away and we may see her when we were in New York City in a month and a half, but I don't have nice memories of her. She was probably in her mid-30s when I left the orphanage, and I'm 26, and I left the orphanage when I was 4. So that was 22 years ago, which means that lady has to be closing in on 60. However, if the conditions in the orphanage never improved, I have to be honest, I will be shocked if she is not dead. The sad thing, though, is the conditions of the orphanage are not the worst part of it. The worst part of it is how the kids ended up there. The thing is that it is an at-will orphanage where babies under the age of 1 can be dropped off there, and the person who drops them off can drive on. That is what happened to me. So I was dropped off the day I was born, which was New Year's Day, 1992, and all the person who dropped me off with left a note that said, "Give birth today on New Year's Day, Happy New Year," and then drove on to somewhere. And then the lady who ran the orphanage took me in, and it was a scary 4 years for me due to the conditions of that orphanage. Most babies who go through the orphanage leave in a matter of months. For me, in a matter of months to a year. Well, for me, however, it was 4 years. I developed social anxiety badly, and because of that, no family would be willing to take me in because I was scared of them. Then on my 4th birthday, my parents came and they adopted me. When I learned it was my 4th birthday, I figured that no coincidence could be caused like that for no reason, which is when I began believing in God. I didn't learn about how bad the orphanage was until I became aware of my own existence, which was when my parents adopted me, and after that happened, I learned English within a year and a half and I got better nutrition. Life for me in Chicago has been good. I got educated at public schools, which were quite nice considering how poor Chicago can be sometimes, and I got accepted to law school at the University of Chicago on scholarship, which is nice. And I'm going to be a prosecuting trial lawyer. The reason why I want to be a prosecuting trial lawyer is for reasons that were written on the note that came with me on the note when I was dropped off at the Bronx, that I really don't like talking about, which is why I haven't said anything about it yet, but I am going to. However, back to me living in Chicago, I just love it here. There is so much to do that it is unbelievable. I didn't really go to the Loop that often until I began to see Marcus, but I do love the Loop. It is just that I can find whatever I need on Howard. Howard Station is located on Paulina Street, or at least I know its address is on Paulina Street. In fact, I live on Paulina Street due to me living east of the station. However, it is located several miles east of the hospital where Queen Valerie used to work. I know that King Morven works at the Chicago division of Morpho Comics by 35th and Orchard off the Orange Line, but I am never going that way unless I need to go to Midway Airport, which the next time I'm going to is going to be with Marcus to catch a flight to LaGuardia Airport in New York City. I like Marcus's parents, but they definitely have some issues. The good side of Marcus's parents is that they couldn't have been nicer to me, and I love that, because I wouldn't have fallen so deeply in love with Marcus if it weren't for his parents and brothers being so nice to me. However, I know his parents both have autism, and I know that sometimes with autism, people often don't know when they were being correct or not, and unfortunately, it bothered me when after Marcus snapped and used that unnecessary racial slur against him, that they say I can break up with him if I want to. Well, in that situation, Marcus was totally wrong. While at the same time, I didn't feel like his parents were treating him right. Also, so I told him that I feel that I should do about this, what I should do about this situation is none of their business, and that I would like to deal with it myself instead of them dealing with it. And they agreed to it. But I was pretty upset of him for trying to discourage me from being his girlfriend. Sam was really nice to me. After the incident that I was just talking about, he took me into the hallways of the Nation of Robbinsog-The and he apologized. I said that it was okay, but I appreciated it. I know that Sam and Marcus are being friends, and that is just part of the reason why I know Sam respects me so much. I just love Sam because I love Marcus, and Marcus means the world to me at the moment. George, I know, needs help a lot, but he is a good, sweet little boy. When Marcus explained to me what happened when he discovered the truth about his mother, he called me immediately, explaining that George was not dealing too well emotionally, and that he may need me to come over because I was a psychology major in college before I went on to becoming a lawyer in law school. Marcus has super nice family, and even if I have some issues with them sometimes, or some of them sometimes, they are super nice to me, and in order for me to be his girlfriend, that is all that matters.